Hello and welcome back to the Flourgoldwizards channel. I'm Jason, a part-time gold prospector based in Wisconsin. That's Rigby, my mining partner. Today, as you can see, we're on beautiful Lake Superior in the state of Michigan. We're going to see if we can't coax some gold off the beaches with all the big black sand deposits they have around here. Now we're way up here in the woods. Let me pan around here a little bit. That's right. And we're also way up. So we got about a half-mile hike through the woods that away. And we're going to find a spot to crawl down this mountain of a cliff right here. And I brought some really cool new equipment today that I built. And we're going to see if we can't put a big smile in a pan. Don't go away. Back in a bit. And a little lesson in the laws of physics. First lesson is Rigby never carries anything. Lesson number 2. That battery, after a half-mile in the woods, weighs 86,000 pounds. Maybe more. Well, we made it. Sweat and all. It was 39 degrees when I pulled in the driveway to this place this morning. Right now it's 800 degrees. I don't know why or what happened. Now, I'll show you around just here just a little bit the way the camera is. I don't see big deposits of black sand anywhere just yet. I basically just walked down here, but I did dig a little trench here. Let me show you what's going on. Right there. Now here's the beach. You can kind of get a feel for why I dug there. There's this big log right here, so I dug behind it. It's going to be a low pressure zone on the beach. And I just dug a little trench like I always do on the beach. And I noticed there was a little wisp of a band of black sand down in there. And you could kind of tell the real light layering. So I did a 3-finger pinch, as Mike Pung would say, and I did a little test pan, and believe it or not, there was 2 pieces of gold in about this much right here. So I'm going to do that again, throw that right in my pan. I'm going to test that again. But as I was walking through the trail up there, from that way, a long ways, you can get a good view of the beach down there. And right about in there look to be some really good black sand deposits pushed right up against this cliff. So let me do a little test right here quick, and then I think we're going to take a walk that way, because I haven't seen much. It's pretty flat and I could see a long ways, and I haven't seen much for any black sand or anything that way that would indicate decent gold bearing deposits. So Rigby's on the hunt. I'm going to test this one small pan right here, and then we're going to be on the hunt again. Back in a bit. All right, that pan didn't have anything in it, and there just wasn't a whole lot there keeping me there, so we moved. And I'll show you our new spot here. Look at all that black sand back there. That's a lot. All we got to do is test it. Just because it's black and it's sand doesn't mean it has a lot of gold concentrated in it, but I stand a better chance of testing that stuff right there than I do that blonde sand over there. And this black sand deposit goes that way for a good long ways. It's beat right up against that big tall bank. So let me throw a little bit in my pan. We'll check it out. Hopefully we can set up our equipment. Rigby says right here. Can't doubt my mining partner. He never led me wrong yet. Right in this footprint, I'm going to take a pinch right there. That's probably about enough. That's a lot of black sand to pan out at once. So I'm going to take this down to the water over there, pan it out. I wasn't done panning that yet. I gotta get more water. You big dummy. You knock it off. All right, I can pan that out. And there's one little teeny fleck of gold right there. And that little pinch. It's telling me there is gold there. That's for sure. But it's not the numbers I'm looking for. Now, I took that sample out of right here where Rigby's footprint was, but this deposit kind of starts, I'll show you where the beach is kind of laid out here. It starts here and it goes all the way up to that bank. So it might be better up top, down low. What I want to do is start up there and dig a trench right through the middle of this stuff. I want to see how thick it is. I want to see if there's a lot of garnet sand mixed in with it. And then I'll start testing layers. up, down, in between, left, right, etc. So let me dig a trench. All right, here's that trench we just dug. Now if you'll see right up there, there's maybe 1/8 of an inch of just a little whisper of black sand up in there. Then as you come down, it starts to get a little bit thicker, and there's a couple more layers of it. And then the layers get thicker. I'll show you. And then the bands get thicker until you get down into here, and the bands are maybe 1.5 to 2 inches thick. And just look at this stuff. Good and black. But what's concerning me is it's only on the top right here, where I don't have a big thick 8-inch thick or 10-inch thick deposit here. But that doesn't mean we're not going to test it. So I'm going to test a couple of these layers in here and see if we can't find what we're looking for before the daylight burns out. We only have a limited amount of time. Back in a bit. Well, we did a little bit more testing in there. We found a couple more pieces in a pan than we had been finding. It's nothing spectacular by any means, but I'm going to set up my equipment right here. Now I made this sluice. Actually, Gary over at Prospector made the sluice. I kind of cut the end off. It was a little bit longer, and I put a little power head, so to speak, piece in there. I just drilled a hole in the side, stuck a tube in there, and cut some holes off. Now I just got a little bit of copper wire brush there or whatever, little pad just to smooth out the water a little bit. And then this thing here fits right in there, and I can flatten that water right out pretty decent. And then I got my Devon Gold VDR mat in here, and I got this set up at, I do believe, 9 degrees. I got a little JB weld on my legs there. So far, so good. Now we've got a bucket of water, got my pump and my battery. Remember, 86,000 pounds. So let me get this set up the rest of the way. We'll start shoveling some of that in there. And while we're working there, we're gonna have a little bit of time to test some of the areas up in there and maybe over in there. Lesson number 1. Always double check what you're bringing. I went out and I bought a black hose, 6 feet long, that would work with this sluice. What color is that one right there? Well, it's white. And it's not long enough to go from there to where I gotta hook it up there. What a dummy. But anyway, we'll get it figured out. I got a couple of clamps. I'll just spray it up into there. And so far it's been working pretty fair. Here comes the water. Well, we'll get it. All right, I think we're in business. I'm really glad I brought that, because otherwise I think we'd have a heck of a time. So we got our water looking pretty level coming out the back end there. Here's a scoop. Wonder if I can throw it on up here, if it'll go right underneath that stuff. Sure, look at that, it's going right underneath. All right, I like that. We'll just scoop her right in there, and off she goes. Just have to watch this just for a minute, make sure it's running the way I want it to, and it sure appears like it is. I might have to tip it this way just a little bit. Looks like some of the material's caking up on that side a little bit, but down there it actually looks pretty level. I'm gonna leave it run just the way it is for a little while, because they're not clearing all the way out. They're staying about half full, as you can see. So let me run this for a while and we'll see what happens. Now, if you think about what a gold cube does, it's got a thing called a G-force separator on it. And the gold goes down a ramp, underneath a big lip, and up, and then down another ramp, just like this, down and down and down. And the goal of that is to keep the gold underneath the water, because gold tends to float, and especially this Lake Superior beach sand. It's so darn flat. Once the air gets to it, it's floating away. Well, I just decided, or noticed rather, that by scooping my sand on this side, I got that piece of insulation there fashioned in such a way that it's forcing all the material underneath the water and flattening it right out, and then going off and down onto my mat. I might be on to a little something here. I mean, it's kind of like having one of those rubber metal flaps on a dredge. It flattens the water right out. And this is probably a pretty close concept to that. And I think this is going to work pretty good. I just got to make sure we're on the gold and we're not digging all day for nothing. All right, now we ran a 5-gallon pail through my system here, and I cleaned out the mat because I've been doing some testing and testing up and down this whole stretch right here, and I haven't found more than 3 in a pan. I mean, a decent sized handful. That's not very good when you're beach mining, because this is a numbers game. So if I don't find what I'm looking for in that 5-gallon pail, here's the concentrates right here. It's a fair amount, I guess. I didn't let it clean out too long. I want to make sure I get a good representation of what's in this material. And if it's not in here, well, we're just going to move. It's still relatively early. I mean, I don't have to get back by any particular time of the day, but it sure is nice getting home and cracking a cold one before bed. So let me clean this up and we'll see what's in it. Well, it's kind of like I expected. Not very good. That's why you do testing. We didn't do very good on any of our tests here. There's all kinds of black sand deposits here, you know, for 100 yards right here. But there's just no gold in the stuff for whatever reason. So I'm going to grab my shovel and my pan and my gold sniffing hound Rigby right there. And we're going to go try to find it. It's still relatively early, and I want to put some gold in a pan. Back in a bit. Hey Rigby, what do you make of this? Found me a little sign in the sand here. Let's your take a read. Flourgoldwizards, we saved you some. I tell ya, no wonder there's no gold left. I do believe we are getting dialed in. Look what I found. Look at that big old piece. That's right, that's gold. Did another little test pan. Well, I've done a bunch of test pans, but this one here has got me intrigued. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. It's got some shape to it. Come on, you get focused. Look at that bad boy. Let me get my finger in there. Those are a couple of really small pieces of gold, a medium-sized one, and that big flake right there. That's a pretty good sized piece for being at the beach. That is a guarantee. And I'll show you exactly what I've been doing. Since I didn't find a whole lot in that deposit over there, that big pile of black sand, I started getting surgical. Now I noticed that in between all these down little parts of trees here that keep falling off up the bank, in the little nooks and crannies, there's little deposits of black sand in here. So I just took that little scoop out of right there and found that nice piece of gold right there. Heck, I might even try scraping some of this stuff off the top of that. But looks like there's all kinds of this stuff to be had in here. I'm going to do 2 more test pans out of a couple more of these areas here. Let me get over here. You see that all up inside of this stuff here, in these low pressure zones, I think. Look at that, just as black could be. They must have got an awful lot of rain. This stuff's soaking wet. And even up in here, look how it's tucked right inside of there, way back in there like that, just pitch black way inside of there. I think we found our deposit. Let me do 2 more test pans, and I'm gonna grab my gear or just grab a shovel. It's not too darn far away. And we're gonna get back to running here. Test number 25. Well, we didn't find a whole lot testing. That one pan with that big piece, that was the best one. I mean, I tried. The gold is just not here. For whatever reason, that stuff moves around and it's eluding me today. That is for sure. I'm getting a little frustrated. But you know what they say, when in Rome, eat Chinese food. Wait, a rolling stone gathers no moss, but he does find the gold. So we're moving. All right, we have moved. And on my way out, I ran into Prospector Paul.
Howdy folks, how are you?
He runs a YouTube channel. He bounces all around the country and he's looking for everything there is under the sun to look for. Well, today he's up here looking for gold too. And like I said, I happened to run into him on the way out from that last spot. And he said he knows where some good gold is, and we just arrived. It was about a 3-hour ride, no big deal. But here we are. I'll pan around here a little bit. I mean, there's nothing that says, look here for gold. It's just a big beach with a lot of white sand. And then there's some black sand up towards the bank there a little bit. But he's a prospector too, and I'm going to take his word for it. So let's dig in, do a couple test pans, and see what's in it. Paul over here, he's running a Gold Hog mini sluice. Look at that bad boy.
It's a little too steep right now.
Yeah, it looks a little steep.
It is.
What do you typically want to run with this thing?
Right around 13.
13,
12,
yeah.
Right in there. Yep.
That seems pretty steep for the equipment I run, but
It is.
I'm
I'm just trying to strip it right down to just gold, just to see what's here.
Oh, he's trying to clean it right out.
Yeah. I didn't bring a pan down, so.
I forget stuff all the time, as you noticed.
Yeah, we all put it in a bag and we still forget it.
Yeah. I forgot my hose. All right, we got all set up here. I'm gonna go and get a little bit of black sand out of a secret spot I just found right behind that log over there. There's plenty of gold sand down, black sand down that way to choose from, and he's got a little secret hole he's going that way to fill up a bucket for. But look what I found up here. Right behind this old dead log. I dug down a little ways. There's some really good black sand down under there. Really good. I was getting 5-6 pieces in a pan right there. And that's just a little bit of handful. So in a full pan, or in a a 10-pinch pan, you're getting 40 or 50 pieces. So I'm gonna load up a bucket full of that stuff there. We're gonna get to running. Oh, what do you think of this spot, buddy? Scoop. Scoop. I'm working. We'll have a snack in just a little bit here. All right, now I know we were getting gold out of that hole over there. So I'm gonna do I don't know, I probably got a little over half a pail run. And I just gotta see if I'm catching it, because if I'm not, I'm wasting my time. And if I am, then we'll keep running. Let's do that. Oh, it's snack time. We're having beer and a snack. Rigby heard snack, so we're gonna have a snack. This snack's brought to you by another YouTuber I met today, Gold Trippin'. And he brought me a pack of beef sticks. Where the heck is that thing? Hickory snack sticks from Troll Smokehouse. You can't go wrong there. Right, buddy? That's right. Prospector Paul approved and Rigby approved. Let's have one. Who wants a beef stick? Yeah. All right, and the cleanup. We got that baby cleaned out here. Now I panned that back extremely fast, and I saw dozens and dozens of small pieces of gold riding back with that black sand, because I want to get another couple buckets run before I gotta get out of here. But point of note, look at that big old piece right there. That big old honker. I don't know if that'll even go in my truck. It's only a 1-ton. All right, let's have this snack and we'll run a few more buckets. Then we got to make the 22-hour ride home. Wow, we're still running away over there. Rigby's hard at it. These guys just did a cleanup. There's their cleanup. They put it in my pan. You know what he said? He said throw it in the can. That's where all my gold goes, so I'm going to throw this in the can too. There's some nice stuff in there. It's pretty dandy pieces and all kinds of micros in there too. We're going to throw it right in my thermos. I got that from Creed over at 9 Finger Mining. It's got a nice wide mouth, and I'm going to use it for my cons today. So I'm going to get that in there, feed the rest of my material in, and I'm going to do a clean out. Or a real quick one, just to see what we're looking at for gold. Then we might clear out here. It's getting a little bit late. And like I said, I got a 284-hour ride home. Back in a bit. Why does that always happen? We find the best gold at the end of the day. Every time. So I'm down by the ocean over here, doing a little cleanup, and this thing jumped right out at me. Look at that rock right there. That's got all kinds of silvery looking stuff. Nobody here is sure if that's mica or platinum or silver or what that is. Probably worth a fortune. But you know what I'm going to do with that? It's the Chris Lilly Rock of the Week. Oh, these guys are going to be mad at me for throwing this one. Let her rip. See you later, Rock of the Week.
That's for you, Chris.
It's cleanup time. Doing a brief inspection. I see gold in 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 slat riffles. I don't see any in the little spinnerets, but I am seeing gold, and that's a good thing. And a number of pieces in that first one. So that's encouraging. All right, we got our gear all packed up. Well, at least I do. They're still packing, but that's gonna wrap it up for the work on the beach. I'm gonna get this stuff home, run it over my Miller table maybe. I don't know, we'll see how much I got in that thermos there. Sometimes I run it over the Miller table if I don't have that much. Maybe I'll use my cleanup sluice, who knows. Well, let's make the ride and we'll find out. Back in a bit. All right, we made it back. First things first. I tell you, I left that running. Well, not really. I've been back a few minutes, but I got this baby up and running, and it cracked me a cold one. Here's our material right here. It's about half full. There's a whole bunch in there. Let me quickly grab one out of there, and I'll put it in a smaller container as soon as I get one on there. We'll leave that run on my little cleanup sluice here. And it does look like it's running a little bit weak. So I'm going to turn the water up on that just a little bit. There we are. We want to get those things roiling around a little bit so it separates the gold from the black sand. And as you can see, they are starting to roil around a little bit. And I saw a piece of gold in that one right there. Sure. Nice. This thing works like a dream. And it really catches gold up top in these small little riffles here. I can see gold in there already. Oh yeah, look at that. So let me run all this stuff through there and we'll take a look at it. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And there it is, all cleaned up real nice and pretty. Now granted, we didn't get on the gold till mid-afternoon. And we didn't run a whole lot of material from that good stuff we were working. But I'm happy with what we got. Now, I don't care who got more or this or that. There's some really nice looking gold in that pan right there. There's that nice big piece we found today in my secret hole by that log. There's a great number of pieces in there. I'm pleased. We had a great time today, for sure. Well, there you have it. We didn't spend a whole lot of time on the spot, but we sure had a blast. At least I did. Go ahead and check out Gold Trippin'. He supplied the beef sticks today. Rigby says thank you, and so do we. Go ahead and check out Prospector Paul. He's going all the way around the country and collecting this and collecting that. He's got some great content, and he's a youper outer, eh? So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe. Please do leave a comment. It helps build my channel. Please hit that thumbs up. Flourgoldwizards out.